Welcome to the Gym Plus Coffee podcast. Welcome to episode 8. I'm Ian, producer of the podcast and member of the Gym Plus Coffee community team. On this week's episode, co-founder Diarmuid McSweeney sits down with Dwayne Edgar from Inner City Runners. Inner City Runners were the winner of the Best Community Fitness Club at our Make Life Richer Awards. The group was set up over 2.5 years ago. Dwayne used lockdown as an opportunity to do something positive, get fit and as healthy as possible. After a video of Dwayne on his running went viral overnight, he decided to make a proper go at it and set up the group. As he says himself, they nearly spread quicker than COVID-19. The group runs 3 days a week and is open to all abilities. Everyone is welcome and they don't care about times. The only rule is that once you start, you have to finish. As you will hear, it's a rule that Dwayne came to regret when doing the Madrid Marathon. They have big plans to run events in the city and surrounding areas, but as you will hear, there are a few hurdles to jump over first. The ethos of the group is to get people active in the community, and the lads are firmly on their way to doing just that. They now have their own clubhouse and gym to help their members reach their goals. There's a great social element to the group, and as Dwayne mentions, the most important thing for the group is to have fun. This is something we can firmly agree on. Hope you enjoy. Dwayne, welcome to the Gym Plus Coffee podcast. Delighted to have you here.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
So Inner City Runners, you guys won Best Community Fitness Club at the Make Life Richer Awards. Congrats again.
Cheers.
And I think, would you go down as probably having the best celebration on the night? Was it like winning, scoring a goal?
Yeah, no, I just said it, like even off camera there, when we got nominated, I wanted to win. It's who I am, it's who we are as a club. From a young age, I've always been, I would say, competitive, and it hasn't done us any harm to date. Like, I want to be the best running club, I want to be the best community fitness club, wherever way you want to pour on it, we always want to be the best. And it meant an awful lot for us to win. The reason being is because it was for the members. It wasn't for me, it wasn't for Carl, it wasn't for any of the coaches in place. It was for the members to get the recognition that they deserve. We put all the work in behind the scenes, but they're the ones that deliver week on week. You did say it was about our energy.
Yeah.
You know, we like to have a bit of fun, a little bit of crack, but if you look deep in, the members just keep bringing it week in, week out, and I was so happy for them.
You were on the night. It was brilliant to have you guys there, and yeah, as you said, the energy you brought to the room really kind of made the night special. Yeah. Your celebration was definitely like a personal highlight.
Yeah, no, I was so happy. I'll be honest with you, it's great to be, as I said, nominated. There were so many amazing people that was nominated, but it was that extra bit of the cake to actually be called winners. And it was nice because we're only had to be going, say, 2.5 years, and then to be nominated and then to win it. So, and it's another one of those things that keeps kind of pushing and promoting the club. So it was great to be recognised, but better to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And that momentum is everything with these things, isn't it? Right. So I suppose before we go any further, we should probably tell anyone who's listening, like, what is Inner City Runners? Where did it come from? What's the passion behind it?
Yeah.
And how did you guys get this off the ground? And like the numbers now are insane. So maybe just tell people that early story and why you set this up.
Early on, so what happened was we were all hit with the doom and gloom of COVID. And it was either play balcony bingo or drink in the flats. But I just seen it as a massive opportunity to get as fit as I could. So I was training every day. I started in April. And before I knew it in August, before coming to August, I was in probably the best fitness shape of my life, physically, mentally. And from that, I just realised that there was nothing like that I've ever done before, or I've never heard of anything like that being done in the community. It was from running, swimming, cycling, training. There was nothing of that kind of style. It was all about football, boxing, GAA. So I had this idea for a couple of weeks of setting up a running club. And I was playing in my mind, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to bite the bullet. And I says, how's the best way to showcase what we're doing? So I put a video on Instagram, and the next day I had like 16,000 views. So it was one of those things where it just blew up overnight. So I just keep saying it kind of spread it quicker than COVID within the community. So I rang Carl. I said, obviously I've been telling you about this idea that I have. It looks like it's a runner. It looks like it's going to be a big thing. Would you like to get involved? And straight away Carl said, yeah. So we put a video out. A second video that went out explaining the day we were going to meet, which was a Saturday in the Phoenix Park. And we had about 36 people show up to the first run. And we're now standing over 270 active members, which is outrageous 3 years later. So that's how quick it's grown. So from running 5k programs at the very start, a year later to taking a team of 36, we brought 15 away, so nearly say half from a year later to run the first marathon. And then from that, then it just kept growing, developing. But the main reason why it grows and develops is because it's not too serious. When they're asked to be serious, they're serious. But the whole element of the club is fun, it's energy, it's enthusiasm, and with that comes passion. Then, and when people start to realise they can actually get over to run the 5k program, it's 10k. What's next out of 10k? 10 mile. Then it's half marathon, and then it's like, am I good enough for a marathon? So that's how the club has kept evolving over the last couple of years.
And is it mostly people doing that distance now, or is it more still kind of more social?
So there's a social aspect to the club, and there's people that's serious about the club as well. So depending if you want to just get out and run 20 minutes with us, it's completely with yourself, or we run training programs with her for a set distance. So we could have so many people train for a marathon, half marathon, 10k. But no matter what, everybody is welcome. We even have girls that come out that's probably 60 years of age that just want to walk around the Grange Gomer's just to get out and get involved with the buzz. So we cater for absolutely everybody.
That's cool. So meeting once a week, twice a week, or how does that work?
We run 3 days a week. So since the club has started, our main ethos was to get people active in the community. And the only way we could do that was to keep on top of things in terms of, instead of having once a week, it was 3 days per week. Keeps everyone accountable. And we found at the very start during COVID, everyone was still a bit cautious of getting out and getting mixing. But that kind of broke the barrier of getting back out and socialising. And then before you knew it, everyone was getting the runner book. So the 3 days per week, they were asking, can we do 4 days a week? But it was just trying to fit in the life of obviously getting back to work, relationships, then trying to run the club. And it was all new to us as well. But and still to this day now, we run 3 days a week with the club, but we have guys running on their own of a Thursday. So we run Monday night from the Grange Gorman, which is an easy run. Wednesday is intervals from the Phoenix Park, and then Saturday or Sunday, depending on what day we're running, it'll be from the clubhouse.
Nice. And no offense, I'm sure the first Instagram video was absolutely amazing. I'm sure everyone loves you, but like, why so many numbers? Like, what made this so popular? Why have people just flocked to this? Like, you said 270 members. And
active
like, that's
members. Yeah, it's
crazy.
outrageous. No, it is, and do you know what? It's gas. Sometimes I look, I send the training programs in, you feel so blessed to be even looking at, say, 20 people. When you're looking at the 270 people, like, it is dead nuts. But I believe, so for myself and Carl, we're two buzzers. We're two great messers, and we've cascaded that down throughout the club. I like to run the running club like a football manager. May sound a bit cringy, but I like to make sure everything is all orientated in towards having fun, having a bit of crack, creating the atmosphere like it's a football dressing room. Like, if you come up, if you get slagged, you accept it. What you give is what you get back, to a certain degree. So we create a good atmosphere. We're from inner city, we're from the flats, we're witty, we love the banter. So there's a massive fun element to it. And when people start to have fun, and when they start to see the personal achievements in, from not being able to run 2 minutes without being out of breath to going and run the first 5k, that both of them work off each other. But when we're serious. But when we like to have fun, as you're saying from the night of the awards, we do enjoy ourselves.
And you mentioned, say people who live in the flats or inner city, that boxing, football, maybe a bit of GAA, other sports would kind of always have been floating around. But
100%.
like, why do you think running, or maybe other more, say, I don't know if it's yoga or anything that's more modern, let's say, or just come around, why do you think that hasn't kind of gone into that community yet?
So from growing up, from being in the inner city, I always thought running or athletics had to be a kind of posh or well-respected person to be involved in. That's being very honest with you. None of our kind of schools within the city centre of Dublin never heard of having a running team or a cross-country team. And I think COVID and social media has showed that anybody can be involved in any sport. So the likes of your yoga, your mental wellness, all that kind of stuff. And I think from COVID, obviously it has evolved, and without COVID happening, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about the running club, and I wouldn't be in a position to talk about all the amazing memories it's given me in such a short space of time. But I think social media has a massive impact on showcasing that anybody can do anything. And everything is for everyone if you have the right mind, the right passion for it.
Because I suppose you're learning so much. Like, it's not just finding out about things or entertainment. It's like you can actually just learn everything you need to know about a running program or something like that through social media.
Yeah, of course. And like, even coming back off, like running, it's not like me and Carl are two novices about fitness. Like we've done a football course with the FAO. We've got all our qualifications from personal trainer to gym instructor, lifeguard, strength and conditioning to plyometric speed and agility. So we have a fitness background. We've always had a fitness background. We've always kind of done a bit of running ourselves. So it wasn't like we are pure novices going into a fitness or working with people in fitness, but working with people on a running basis day to day was kind of new. And we did learn on the job. I actually thought we'd done quite good considering the amount of people we've got that run marathons or ultra marathons. So, but it's funny, like, not really going off topic now, but the club is that fast. It's that fast-paced environment. Sometimes you never get to realise what's going on, and it's only about 6 or 7 months later you realise, Jesus, that person done that, or we're at achieving that, because you're constantly, like, you understand what it's like. You're trying to push Gym Plus Coffee. We're trying to push the narrative of the NSC Running Club the best we can, because I says at the start, we want to be the best. So you never get time to dwell on things that's going on, because you're always thinking, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? How can I do this? How can I do that? So it's trying to find the balance of it all.
It's time for a quick break. I hope you're enjoying the episode. Just to let you know that we have a special discount code for podcast listeners. If you go to our website and enter POD15, you'll get 15% off. That's POD15 for 15% off on all Gym Plus Coffee websites. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, and turn on that notification button so you never miss an episode. But let's get back to the chat.
You had mentioned to me before, like those trips abroad, like you brought a huge group. I know you've gone to Madrid, Rome, Barcelona. Like, tell us about those big trips. What are they like? How many people have gone?
Yeah,
what have you been doing?
So when Rome, we took 50 into Rome and we had 11 runners. Barcelona, we took 120 and we had 55 marathon runners. And then in Madrid, just gone then, I think we took 130 and we had 76 runners across the distance of 10k, half marathon and full marathon. So just like anybody, we're learning as we go. So we know now in the club not everyone wants to run a marathon. So we try and start picking destinations now that people can do whether a 10k or 21 or a full marathon. But the numbers are growing because the buzz that we have on the trips. Like nobody touches a drink until they come across the finish line. And that's what it's all about. You know, as much as we enjoy the training, we always like to have a bit of fun after. So it was a great idea. I thought about it when we were going to Rome to bring a camera crew with us to vlog the whole thing. So we organised between ourselves to raise as much money as we could, and that paid for our transfers, and it paid for our food over there between 15 of us. We had a few extra quid left that we said, what could you use it off? And I said, let's bring a camera crew. So we paid for a camera crew to come with us. They vlogged the whole thing. They put it on social media. So that had an effect that people was like, Jesus, that running club looks the business. I'd love to get involved. So that kept bringing new people to it. It was a different style of attracting people, to be honest with you. And then there was a famous clip, and if anyone wants to go back on the Instagram page, in the Barcelona movie, you'll see when I came back from Rome, I said I guarantee to the camera crew we'll have 40 plus people coming on a trip abroad was next year. And true to me word was nearly treble the amount that we had.
You're a lot more than that. 40.
Yeah, because this is going to sound probably like a bit of a Conor McGregor, but I've seen all these things happening. I really, and it is an weird cliche to say, but I've seen all these things happening. I've seen how much the club was going to evolve. I've seen the amount of passion, not that only I had, Carl had, and that the members had themselves. Like, I've never seen so many people to go running to have a smile on their face. You know, some people, you know, when they run, they're like, oh, that was tough. But, and even to the trip in Madrid, like, to see people that would never ever go on a running holiday before to go and do 10k. Like, my mum went and done 10k. Like, my mum done 10k, I done a marathon. That was great. My missus done 21k. So, and these people are starting to run with their husbands or their wives or their brothers or their sisters or their cousins. So next year we have a massive trip planned, like, and hopefully we can take at least 200 on one of those.
That'd be unbelievable. Yeah. So, what if you're seeing it all laid out? You've got these visions of what you want it to become. What does it look like in 3, 4, or 5 years' time? Like, how big do you want to make this, and kind of how is it structured then? Because if it gets much bigger, you're going to have to. It's a different kind of beast then, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's just, to be honest with you, I want to be working with over 2,000 people. And it's probably a big statement to make, but I just don't see the NSC Running Club just being situated in Dublin. Like, for example, is when we run 5 and 10k programs, we attract people from Scotland. We're doing races, we're attracting people over from from Boston. So we've already broke into kind of the UK market. We're working with Sports Direct. So the next place to break into is the US. And it sounds like a bit like a rock and roll kind of break UK, break America, but it's the truth. I want as many people in the world to know how amazing the members that we have. And the only way that we can kind of cascade that and go into these places and make an impact is stay true to who we are. When we get to these places, I always remain the club to be as professional as possible. When we step into the airport, everybody is dressed in the same gear. When we get to the races, nobody actually, you know what, everyone's very professional. But be ourselves, and with that loud, charismatic, enthusiastic people that brings the energy. And that's how I think draws more people in. So we've big plans now over the next 2 to 3 years to start running our own events with road closures for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. I believe our events at the moment are amazing. And I believe if we got given the chance to run an event on the Keys, we wanted to put an event in the Keys this year. The DCC told us no. We wanted to put in the Phoenix Park. The OPW told us no. So there are little hurdles at the moment that we have to overcome. But I believe in order to grow the club, to get as many people attracted to the inner city, is to keep growing and developing. Not get too big too quick, but have little plans in place. And as I said to you, the one on the Keys now is the one that we're really, really chasing. So I think that's what is going to attract as many people to the inner city.
When would you like that to happen?
We wanted to happen in August. So this August bank holiday we have a race and we have to cap it. We have 550 runners. We have to cap it due to safety because we don't have road closures. But I was only saying to Ian before we came on, we probably could have done 1,200, which is mental. You know, someone that doesn't have road closures or someone that doesn't have this massive backing and massive following. Sports Direct wanted to come in and give us a dig out with helping us with the funding of the event because you have to pay for road closures, the police, cones, barriers, t-shirts, medals. And they offered to give us a dig out with it, and the DCC told us no. So the little hurdles adds more fire to the belly, and I promise you, one day we will be on the Keys, and we will. So you'll see our logos, the Samuel Beckett. So that came from me running up and down the Keys during COVID. The sunrise is coming up, so that's where the little runner man comes from of the logo. So that's where we want to put one of our events on, if it's 5k or 10k. But there's little hurdles in the way at the moment. We just need to learn how to jump over them.
That's class. What is it about running, do you reckon? What is it about that, like, kind of camaraderie part of it? And how important is the fun aspect of it? Because there's lots of running groups out there.
Yeah, of course. I believe we've changed the running game. That's not having an ego or sounding like I'm Mr. Big, you know what. But I promise, I believe the Inner City Running Club has showcased through social media that running isn't all about being so serious. There's a fun element to it. Once you create yourself in a fantastic environment with people that's like-minded, that just want to get out, have fun. We have this goal in the club and we'll stand by it till the day that the club ever stops. And I hope it never stops. Even if I was to die tomorrow, I'd hope the club continued on. And we don't care about times. I couldn't care if you ran a marathon in 3 hours or you ran it in 5 hours. Once you start, you must finish. And I think that just is a little bit of a kind of like an easy way to put it to members of the club. We don't care what time you do it in. If you run out and do 5k in 20 minutes or I do it in 40 minutes, wherever you start, you must finish. And it was funny because it came back to bite me in the you know what when we were in Madrid. I blew up after 22k. My legs just seized up. It's the first time it's ever happened to me. And it just wasn't my day. And that was stuck in the back of my head. I had to walk nearly 18k of a marathon. And I just enjoyed the whole process. Okay, it wasn't my day. But in the back of my mind, I mustn't give up. I mustn't finish. My legs are still moving. And I was going by all the kids in the street, shaking their hands, smiling, taking the scenery in and looking at some in the building. And I just said, you know what, I'm very grateful to be in the position that I'm in. So, and we live by that motto. And I think that's the reason what attracts so many people to the club, because there's no seriousness to it. If you want to get serious, we have an element of it. But our first focus is just get up, have fun. And we get people that come up and want to be a little bit serious, a little bit more serious than what we are. And they know it's not for them, and that's fine. Like we're not one shoe fits all. We understand there's different clubs or organisations that can help people to reach certain levels, but our club, first and foremost, is getting out and having fun. Brilliant.
It's a pretty amazing ethos. We briefly touched on it a few minutes ago about like some of the blockers or obstacles that you're experiencing. Do you reckon there are still like blockers and barriers for people in certain communities just getting into fitness in the first place?
Yeah, like obviously people, for example, is we get girls that come up and like, I'm not going out running on the roads. If someone sees me running on the roads, they give me abuse. You know, so first of all, it's a mental blocker of people like, oh, can I do it? I don't want to be seen out running. And we get an awful lot of people coming up to the club that wouldn't have anybody within the club. But in the space of probably 20 minutes, everybody just, like, nobody is in a clique, or nobody is like, you know, to their own little group. Everybody is welcome. And we've only brought a new fella in since January, David, and he's been absolutely, we've made him a coach. He's been absolutely outstanding. The minute he sees someone new in the club, he's straight over them. So you can imagine, we're meeting of a Monday, Wednesday or Saturday or Sunday, wherever it is, in the evenings or the mornings. You could have 120, 140 people there at a session. You know, so there's that many people, and he's always clued in to make someone feel welcome. But going back to your question of, some people may fear of, can I run? But when they start to realise, when they start moving to the plans that we design, like some people say, I can't run 5k. We don't expect people to run 5k. We expect people to follow a 5k training plan for 6 weeks. Not 8 weeks. We do 6-week programs because I know it can get quite monotonous when it gets to 8. So what happens is we build them up over 3 sessions per week. Over the course of 6 weeks, and some people that had any fitness levels will do with a 10k program to where they start that kind of 4k, and we build them up. So what I say about that is, we'll do probably, you run for 20 seconds, walk for 10 times. That'll be a warm up. So there are little blockers that can be in people's minds, and then the self confidence of, you know, if someone is a little bit overweight, someone may not have the protective proper runners. Some people may feel they need to be kitted out and head to toe and all the good gear. These are little things that we've came across over the last couple of years. I don't have a fitness watch, you know, stupid things like that, you know. And these are things that's in people's minds that they see through social media that has impacted them into making the step to probably get involved, not with only running, but probably a gym or wherever it may be. And it shouldn't be the case.
No, not at all. Is there anything that, like, brands or government, you know, departments or fitness organizations, like what do you think people should be doing more of to help those people, or to just attract them in?
Like, straight away off the bat, you'd say an organization, like, I believe more money should be pumped into community fitness clubs, rather than projects to help people kind of, like, you know, stop in antisocial behaviour or stuff like that. I feel like an awful lot of money, especially in town, in the inner city, is wasted on stupid projects where it could be pumped into the right organisations. And I'm not just talking about the inner city running club. I'm talking about other community clubs, like just dancing clubs that we know that don't get an awful lot of funding and an awful lot of money. Like, for example, we went out and got our own clubhouse. We've asked, could we get a premises? We were told no. So we went out and got our own premises. I pumped X amount of money into the clubhouse out of my own money to get it up and get it running, to put a gym involved in it, so when people can't run, they can use the gym to keep them getting out and getting exercising. So we've had so many problems in the past with organisations where we don't get as massive funding. There's a funny one for you. So there's two parts where we're from. There's the northeast inner city, and then there's the inner city. So the northeast inner city, we're 150 metres outside of that radius to be involved in that funding, even though we take 65% of the people from the northeast inner city within our club. So we couldn't have availed of that funding. So the stupid, whoever is set up in these organisations, someone so stupid to have a border based around the northeast inner city would deprive someone that's 150 metres outside it to give them funding, even though they take 65% of the members from that area. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So to go back,
it's just red tape, really. Isn't
yeah,
it?
it's really ridiculous. I believe the northeast inner city or the inner city. The reason why I call the running club the inner city running club, because it caters for all the inner city. Now we attract people outside the inner city, which is amazing. But if you look, like, you've Kelly Harrington, you know, there's a new fella coming through now, Pierce O'Leary, he's a boxer. The amount of amazing people that has came from the heart of town has been unbelievable. And I still believe there's so many more amazing people, hidden little gems that haven't been recognised because they're pumping the money into wrong things. That's just my belief. People watching this or listening to it may feel different, but since we started in the running club, I believe that we've been hard done by in terms of funding.
Well, what you've done is it's pretty amazing. It's like, obviously the ethos of the whole thing is incredible, but just the sheer numbers, and like I've said to a few people, you know, the votes in the awards were cast by the community, you know. It wasn't like Gym Plus Coffee picked the winners, you know. So the proof is in the pudding there. You know, you guys have built an amazing community ethos, but also just the sheer numbers and to see them show up for you at the awards night and also by voting was amazing. Absolutely incredible.
And what was great was, like, even when we were at the awards night, we had about probably 20 people there. We still had the other 100 and something training that night. So, you know, people still don't fall off. And we would have loved to bring them all to the awards. But it was great. We got to bring the award home, and we had it at the clubhouse, and everyone was going to sing and dance and having a bit of crack. And I'll go back to it. When we were nominated, I wanted the club to win. And people would say to you, it's great to be nominated, but I didn't. And if we had kind of been beaten that night, it would have broke my heart. And that's just who I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm just being very honest with you. I'm so happy for the members because they finally got the recognition they deserve. It wasn't about me, and it wasn't about Carl, and I said it. It was about them. It was the recognition that they deserve for all the hard work that they put in. As I says to you, it's great that we set the bar, but without the members, the club doesn't go.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on everything you've built. I have one last question. We named the awards the Make Life Richer Awards. We've built Gym Plus Coffee around this whole idea to make life richer, to build a community around that. That's our passion. When I say those words, make life richer, like what does that mean to you? What does that phrase kind of make you think about, or what does that mean in connection with inner city runners? Like, how do you define that?
So, to be very honest with you, we have what money can't buy, and I said at the night of the awards, that makes me richer. That it makes me rich every night, going to the running club or every day, working with these people, giving them a platform to make their lives better. No money in the world could ever be pumped into any other organisation and have what we have, because it's so raw. And what makes the whole, going back to what you're asking, is that what makes us so good is that when we're all together, it's rich because it's raw. It's you couldn't put a number on it. And the best part about the club is when we come all together and when we bring the energy, that makes us happy. And money, I always have this thing, would you prefer your mental health or money? And my thing is always mental health. And ever since the running club has started, I think we've all gained a stronger mental health. So that in itself makes us rich.
Love that answer. Thanks a million for joining us on the podcast, and best of luck with everything for Inner City Runners.
So much.
As I said a million times already, it's amazing what you guys have done. So delighted you're able to join us.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Gym Plus Coffee podcast. If you enjoy these conversations, don't forget to follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, and turn on that notification button so you never miss an episode. Don't forget, we have a special discount code for podcast listeners. Go to our website and enter POD15 for 15% off. That's POD15 for 15% off on all Gym Plus Coffee websites. Thanks for listening.